All right, welcome to day 2 of skill 3, multiplying fractions. So today we're going to be using an array model to multiply fractions. So you might be using this page a little bit, but mostly you'll be using these multiplication grids to kind of help yourself understand what's happening when we're looking at certain fractions. Okay, so the very first thing we're going to do is we're going to revisit. So remember the other day we looked at the geoboards, okay? And we had different rectangles on there. And those rectangles were less than one whole. Remember, this whole thing we're saying is one whole square unit. So it has a side of one linear unit, another side of one linear unit. 1 times 1 is 1. So inside this is one square unit. And we're going to be investigating some shapes, and we're going to try and figure out what is the area and what are the linear units and what is the area. Okay, so first we're going to take a look at a square that has 1/2 by 1/2 linear units. So the sides are 1/2 by 1/2. What is this area in here? What do you think it could be? I want you to pause the video and really think about it, because this is going to be the key to this whole lesson. We're just going to go over about 5 problems. If you don't pause and really try and think about what is this answer and try and figure it out, then this isn't going to do much for you, and you're going to waste your time, and I don't want you to waste your time. So pause it, and then I'm going to go over it. All right, so maybe you have a hypothesis right now as to what it is. I also want to point out this is the area we're looking at. Remember that this whole area, all of it, the big square is 1. So compare this shaded region to the whole, and that could give you a clue too as to what this area is. So if that changes your hypothesis, then pause it and change it. So this area is 1/4 of the whole. So we have an equation of 1/2 times 1/2 equals 1/4. And again, this is a little strange because 1/4 is less than 1/2. Why are we getting something less here? Well, if we think about this is a line that is a half, this is a line that's a half, and this is an area. So we have a line that's a half, and then a line, and then we have this whole area that's a quarter. So that area is actually bigger, right, than this stuff here. But the number, when we're just looking at it, is the same. That's why it's so very important for you to do these visual things, so you start to understand what's happening with fractions. That will make your learning stay in your brain longer, so that you can use it later, which is nice when we learn something and then are able to use it. All right, the next one we're going to look at is 1/4 by 1/4. So first I want you to try and draw that on your own, and then you're going to compare it with mine. All right, so 1/4, I like here. So we have 1/4 and then 1/4. So really it's just one of these square units. So we have 1/4 by 1/4. So what is this area here? Yep, it's 1 of the 1, 2, 3, 4 by 4, 16. So we have 1/4 times 1/4, 1 over 1/4. And that's going to give us 1/16 of that whole. All right, the next one is we are doing, here, let me write it down, 1/4 by 1. So draw a rectangle that is 1/4 by 1. I'm going to switch things up a little bit. So we have 1/4 by 1. So we are trying to figure out what is this area right in here. All right, so 1/4 times 1, whole. Now you could have gone through the whole thing of counting things up and went 1, 2, 3, 4 by 16, 4/16. And that's a fine answer. Or we could have just realized we're just doing 1/4 times 1, and that's just 1/4. Because we could also look at it this way. This is 1 out of 1, 2, 3, 4. So 1/4 is a great answer. All right, next one. We're going to make a shape that we're going to do 1/4 times 3/4. All right, so I have here 1/4, I have here 3/4. I have my 3/4 here, I have my 1/4 here. So we're looking at this space there. Remember, there are 16 squares, and I've just colored in 3 of them. So we're going to have 1/4 times 3/4 equals 3/16. And our last one for today is going to be 1/2 times 3/4. I'm going to start up here. I have 1/2, which is here, and then 3/4. Oops. Which is here. So I'm looking at this area right there. So I have 1/2 times 3/4, and that's going to get me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 16. I could also simplify that if I wanted to. If I thought about this group of 6 here, there's another . Well, what am I thinking there? I've lost my thoughts. Sorry that you had to stare at me for a little bit. So we have 6/16. Another way you can simplify it, so this is 6/16. This could also be 3/8. And so the way it can be 3/8 is that if we take this 16th and think about it as just 8 by 2s, right? So there's one group of 2, 2 groups of 2, 3. So there's 3 of the 8. So if we're looking at it just as 2, that's how we can get 3/8 as well. For your challenge today, create your own problem that we have not done yet and try and come up with the answer. And I'll check. And I would like you on the back here to do a brain dump. So what are some things that you learned during this time? Write it down. So I'll be looking at that, and I'll be looking to see how you did on this last one too. Again, there can be mistakes. Just I should see corrections acknowledging that you watched the video. Bye.